we're now going to be adding into the mix the responsibility matrix and the task information and master information delivery plans that become a set of agreements for what's going to happen going forwards. The preview of some of this is that being able to store all of that in a database means that we can filter it very quickly and define a contract document per appointment, and then add access permissions and have people, whether it's typed or a manual signature with your finger or a mouse, have a secure way of digitally signing in a group of the teams that are required to be able to sign something. So the appointment process is all about that contracting step. How does the appointment process actually work? Well, I'm not sure whether we all three of us agree on this analogy, but we've got an analogy that the ISO 19650 appointment process is much like buying a wedding cake. Bear with us on this one. So you have many different types of wedding cake. You maybe could have a 2-tier wedding cake or a huge wedding cake, and maybe we would have flowers on the wedding cake. But if you've gone through this process, you know that there's a lot of decisions to be made. And if you don't make all of those decisions, and the relation here is if you just ask for BIM, you'll get some BIM, but it might not be the actual BIM that you're looking for. So from a wedding perspective, if we choose the wrong wedding cake or we are making the wrong decisions, then potentially our other half will not be pleased with us as we go through that very, very important day. So what we try to do is we define our requirements. And when we look at potentially different examples, different cakes that we've looked at in the past, maybe we've been to weddings, maybe we look at examples in the store that we're looking for that cake in the baker, we go to a tasting session. So we're actually going through this, and this is part of the appointment process. We're understanding what is the cake type that we like, how tall would we like it, how many tiers would we like, what shape, do we want flowers or not, what colors, how many servings, are there going to be additional desserts, does it fit within our budget? So there are all these different decision points. And if you search the internet, there are thousands of wedding checklists that you can use. And bear with us on this analogy. I see some of the comments in the chat. And if you get that right, you can have an amazing day and you can have exactly the requirements that you would like. But how does that relate? How does that relate to what we're talking about now? Well, we have some awesome standards that are here as our checklist. We have templates that will really help us to follow that workflow, but we need to be prepared. So the agenda that we're going to be going through today, thank you for bearing with us on the analogy, the preparation for BIM contracting, level of information need when it comes to in practice use of defining something and understanding exactly what the requirements are, and then being able to contract for those requirements and using eSignature to make that workflow secure and also make it seamless and a lot more rapid than traditional workflows.